We need your help.
Dr. King, this thing's just gonna have to wait.
It cannot wait.
Hello and welcome to Movie Trailer Rankings, where we take a closer look at the latest trailers on the internet, and sometimes, like today, we take a look back at some of the classic trailers for classic movies, or even just old movies or good movies, movies that we like, movies that have already come out. We want to look at some of these older trailers and just say, hey, are they any good? And so we're going to rank them, score them, stick them on a leaderboard, and we'll find out. So come with us while we do that, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and bell buttons, and you'll get notified when more content like this comes out. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so we thought maybe we'd take a look back at the 2015 film about his March on Selma called Selma. Where's it going to fall on the leaderboards? Stick with us and find out. All right, here we go.
He's got supporters. Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover.
What I do know is he's nonviolent.
What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
Mr. President, in the South, there have been thousands of racially motivated murders.
We need your help.
Dr. King, this thing's just gonna have to wait.
It cannot wait.
You got one big issue, I got 101.
Selma it is.
Here is the next great battle.
Selma's the place, and they ready.
Dr. King.
I tell you, that white boy can hit.
You will not tolerate agitators attempting to orchestrate a disturbance in this state.
It is unacceptable that they use their power to keep us voiceless. Those that have gone before us say no more.
People actually say they're gonna kill our children. They're trying to get inside of your head.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough? We built the path as we came, rock by rock. His sail is probably bugged. It probably is.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's gotta be open season.
May I have a word?
There's no word to be had.
The people! The people! The people! The people! The people!
There's 70 million people watching. These pictures are going around the world.
We must make a massive demonstration.
White, black, and otherwise. Come to Selma.
I heard about the attack of innocent people. I couldn't just stand by.
Looks like an army out there.
This revolution goes on and on. This revolution goes on and on.
Mine eyes have seen the glory, 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 hallelujah.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough?
All right, well, before we get into the review, if you're new to the channel and you don't know how it is that we do things, what it is that we're about, we made a video to explain those things, and so you can check that out here. There's a little button in the upper right, or you can click on the link in the description below. Okay, let's jump into it. We're going to talk first about critical non-factors. These are the things about the movie that we don't want to have affect our opinion of the trailer. And so this one can be a little bit tricky because it has, I think the non-factors here need to be that this is some hard subject matter. This is a very real and important movie about real and important things. We're just trying to talk about what is essentially a commercial for the movie that's going to come out. And so it has to convey some of those things. And so that's definitely a part of what it means to be a movie trailer for a movie like this. But there's an emotional component to that, and we're going to try to let that be about the movie and not necessarily about the trailer. Also, because it's historical content, there's always a question of accuracy, and this movie has had some controversy around that. I think mostly around the relationship between Martin Luther King and LBJ, and how contentious was it, that kind of thing. It's also, is it as bad as it's presented in the movie, or is it accurate? And I've seen a number of different things that say, hey, this movie, for the most part, got it right. So there's some question about that maybe, but we're just not going to let that affect our opinion of the trailer and what it means. Side note here, if you have not seen this movie, it is a phenomenal film, and I highly recommend it, and especially if you don't know a lot about Selma or the history of the civil rights movement. This is a terrific film to really give you some insight into what it was like, and I think informs our current situation in a new light too that you may not experience. So I would highly recommend the film. Okay, let's go on to scoring the trailer. We're back to the trailer now. And let's take a look at some of the scores that it's got. Some pretty high marks overall. Technically speaking, I think it's pretty competent, but really what this trailer has is a strong use of music and style that I think helps bring the historical subject matter to life. Sometimes historical movies can feel a little stuffy. This one, at least from the way the trailer is presenting it, does not. And I think in large part that has to do with the music and the style that they've chosen to edit it in. The narrative does a good job of setting the sort of the big and the small stages. So we know that we're going to get a glimpse of the sort of national political struggles that are going on, as well as sort of the interpersonal conflicts that are on the ground and happening in the civil rights movement. And so that's a pretty broad range. And so they're doing a good job of telling both sides of that story. I think this is a good example of a trailer sort of packaging up all of the elements in an effective and convincing fashion. It's not relying too heavily on any one aspect, but it makes a great emotional appeal to the viewer. It sort of plays on what you already know, and it's bringing just enough new material and making it feel weighty and important and entertaining all at the same time. So from a marketing perspective, that's just gold. And so real high marks for impact here. The trailer for 2015's Selma, we're going to give that an 8.4 out of 10. Okay, let's see how it stacks up so far on our classic leaderboard. And be sure to leave us comments in the comment section below. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Did we miss something? Let us know. We want to hear from you. If you've got suggestions for other trailers that you'd like us to take a look at, new or old, let us know about that as well. We're anxious to keep bringing new content. So if this is the first time you're here, welcome. We're glad to have you. Hope you come back. All right. See you next time.